Angry today. You know what, Nintendo? You know what? This is what I think of your stupid game. No, I was already broken before. I'm not actually that mad about it. In fact, it actually gave me time to cope ahead of time. I broke this like 6 months ago. And the main reason it actually gave me time to cope is because 4 months ago on January, I want to say 8th? January 24th, they had announced that they were going to shut down all of Nintendo servers. And this is the article that Nintendo ended up releasing, saying that on April 8th, 2024, they're going to shut down all servers for 3DS and Wii U. Now, there is a huge list of things that this affects, like all the games, but not just that. There's the shop, there's the TV system that Nintendo had in place. I doubt anybody still used it on the 3DS, but on the Wii U, it's not bad to use the Wii U. I know people that use it as a remote for their TV and have like all sorts of apps on it that they can still run fine. But it still does affect the general gaming landscape. And on top of this, Nintendo recently actually took down Yuzu and Citra. These were the two emulating groups that were allowing people to be playing games that are no longer being sold, all sorts of things like that. And Nintendo did end up taking them down as well. So now there really isn't anywhere that you can play these games online due to Nintendo's really overbearing copyright system. So the reason that this personally affects me is I've been playing Monster Hunter for nearly 10 years. I started playing in 2015, but I didn't start with Generations. I started with 4 Ultimate. I never played stories, but I put over 2,000 hours into 4 Ultimate alone, and that is just... I mean, again, I said I had time to cope because this was broken 6 months ago, 2 months prior to them announcing that they're going to shut down servers. And I never ended up getting my account back because I figured, what's the point? And I lost all of my data. My game cartridge was broken, shattered, but it still does suck. I'd even planned to later this year do a revival series of playing through all of the generations, starting in Frontier, going all the way through World, and just doing playthroughs of the games and what I would do now with the knowledge that I have of the games now. And, you know, it is kind of a major fuck you to the player base, especially with, like I said, the shutdown of Yuzu and Citra and emulating other emulating companies. It's such an uphill battle that is so anti-consumer that there really is there's no point to play these games anymore, it feels like. So they're actively killing entire franchises, not the modern franchise of Iceborne and World, but the franchises that built the systems and games that we have today. Like 4 Ultimate, I think, was a crucial turning point in the Monster Hunter series. And the fact that it's just poof, gone up in smoke, it is kind of frustrating, you know? So I'm not the only one. I mean, this is just one of hundreds of people's personal stories and anecdotes about their experiences and what they thought. And I put 2,000 hours into one of those games alone. Generations was another 1,000. Not because I was good or I like to push the game to its limits, but no, because I sucked. But it was fun because the struggle was so rewarding and the gameplay loop was so good. And I guess you can still play solo, but of those 2,000 hours that I'd played, 1,500 with a friend. But 500 hours solo, and it was decoration or charm farming where you had to go get coal and all other sorts of stuff. And I don't know, there were just so many good times that I had playing online, and those random encounters that you have that one dude with a great sword that cannot miss and the monster never gets to do anything. And on those games, they're just gone. Like I said, I'd planned to do a playthrough with my chat of so many of these games, and now it's just so unfeasible. And it's not, like I said, it's not a Capcom issue. This is a Nintendo problem. And because they've got such a stranglehold on the entire, I guess you would say, landscape, that it's just, I mean, where are they going to stop? This was 10 years ago that these games came out. The 3DS has been out for longer than that. The Wii U was being used like till present by a lot of people that I know. And yeah, I guess this is the main question to ask. What's going to happen in the future? Are they going to stop with, you know, just the 3DS? Ah, sorry, that was the last one. Sorry about all your games and your services that we were providing that we just ripped from you. But it's deeper than that. I think it's a systemic problem. And this isn't the only scenario in which this takes place. I mean, you have live service games even now getting shut down. But where can we draw the line? At what point is this benefiting the company or the actual person that's paying for the product? And that's like I said, that's the deepest part of this conversation is, where do we draw the line? How much of the actual games do we own? Because yes, we can play the game offline, that's fine, whatever. I could still beat 4 Ultimate by myself, it's not a big deal. But again, it's the experience that's being diminished because of the servers getting shut down. Now, I'm not going to end there, because I don't condone or condemn necessarily the decision. There are plenty of Nintendo games that no one cares about. There are plenty of games made by other publishers that no one cares about, no one plays. They have servers dedicated to them, and even if it was $50 a day for a multi-billion-dollar corporation such as Nintendo, I would rather have that $50 a day go to one of the employees or something that actually is being productive for the company. So those games that aren't popular, those games that are not being used completely, that's a separate discussion. But shutting down all the servers and cutting off games that are still being played actively, it does seem like a disingenuous slap to the face. At the end of the day, we don't know what's going to happen with the Switch. We don't have any future-proof goggles that we can see, oh, this is going to be a problem. The question is, what can we do? If we are not allowed to use Yuzu and Citra, or have another developer make a server in which these are hosted, what can we do? What do we truly own? When I paid $60 for the game back in 2015, or I guess it wasn't 60 back then, it would have been 30 or something like that. But no, when I paid for the game back in 2015, did I not purchase the online experience as well? And is that not being taken away? And there are plenty of videos coming out about this right now. This is not a unique video, but it is unique to me because this does affect me. This was my favorite game. They introduced my main weapon that I've used for over 4,000 hours since. Insect Glaive. Where do we draw the line? That's the question that you have to ask yourself, is at what point is it taking a product away from a person? Like I said, whenever it's a server, I get it. It is different. The company is constantly paying to maintain upkeep. But let's also not pretend that these business owners and executives don't understand the concept of time, and that they don't understand that they could just say, hey, we are going to shut down in 2024, 10 years from now. Would that hurt their sales? I think there's just so many different avenues that I'm not going to pretend that these executives are stupid. They know what they are doing. They can plan for a game and they know it's going to cost money in the long run. I also think that they should be held to a higher standard and tell people ahead of time if this is not planned to be kept forever. Live service games now especially. Like World. What if 20 years in the future the PS5 server shut down? 30 years in the future? Is Iceborne just going to be a relic of the past? You can play alone online or offline? Again, it's where's the line drawn? If it starts with this, where's the line drawn? It seems so predatory, forcing you to avoid these sites to come to a site, Nintendo, or a company that doesn't even care about their consumer. That is predatory. And then they have a stranglehold after they cancel the game. It is unreasonable. It is simply unreasonable. So that I am upset about it, but this has been gone for longer than even the announcement. So I've had time to cope that I've lost 2,000 hours of my life. 2,000 hours worth of a save that I farmed, shit that boring farm that's gone forever. You know, do I regret playing the game online? No. No, I would do it again. But I can't. Yeah, I just wanted to make a video on this because this was such bullshit. Just